everybody, this is Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus with Threshold of Hineni, and I'm here to finish working on this part of my cover. Anyway, this is probably going to be a short video too, because Bill should be coming home soon from work, but I wanted to get this finished. Now I kind of experimented because I thought, I'm not, I'm using glue, I don't have to sew this. I am going to sew it, but I mean, I'm not relying on sewing like with a quilt. And so I could miter this without getting all the bulk. So I'll show you what I came up with, and it worked out really well on this corner, so I'm hoping it will on these too. So what I did is I took this and I pressed it together right here, okay, and then I'm going to cut right here, okay, so that it's going to cut close to where those will come together. I've got it pressed so that it's flat on both sides, coming together in the corner, so it'll be diagonal. I've got it pressed together, okay, and I've kind of like gone from here up so that so I'm not going to have a lot of additional bulk. And I'm taking my sewing scissors and just cutting right up close to the fabric. Okay, so see how it just comes and it just very, very nicely overlaps right there. Okay, so then what I did, oh dear, I left this open. I did this like earlier this morning and oh dear. Okay, so I'm just gonna like do like a nice kind of thick squirt. Oh, if it will work. Okay, I'm gonna do a nice thick squirt of glue just in that little diagonal area there of that corner. Oh, please, please, please work. There we go. Okay, so it's going to be nice and thick, and some of it's going to squirt out, but I do want to have plenty of glue there. Let me grab one of my little wipes. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from, like partway down so that I don't end up with any excess fabric there, and I'm squeezing it together. Okay, and then I'm squeezing it together and pushing that fabric together. It's slightly overlapping itself. But I'm pushing it so that the glue will kind of spurt out just a little bit, because the other thing is I don't want it to fray right here where this comes together, because then it'll just leave it exposed. It'll leave the manila file folder exposed. So I'm using the glue to create kind of a what would you call it, like a seam finish kind of thing to keep it from fraying. This is coming out like really pointy here, and it did that here too. I'm gonna wait until it's dry, and I might cut it off. I'm not sure, it kind of looks kind of cool actually. I might even like hang little tiny tassels from that or something. I don't know, we'll see. We'll play with it. Okay, and the nice thing about, oh, I don't want to put glue there yet. The nice thing about doing something like this and experimenting, even though you're not absolutely sure it's going to come out just right, you can experiment, because so what if it doesn't work out? What are you going to do? I mean, you can just throw this away. I've got more fabric, I can print out more paper. It's not a big deal. And so that's one of the things that I like about doing stuff like this, is that you can play around and it's not going to cost you a fortune if you mess up or something, right? And it's just really not the end of the world. And so you really can experiment. And I did try that first off camera, because I just thought, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't work? I'll be so embarrassed. But that was kind of silly too, because it's kind of probably good for you to see that not all of our experiments work out. If you're a little timid about it, just know not all of our experiments work out. But you can almost always find a way to save it. I don't know if I've thrown anything away that I've experimented with, and I've had lots of things that haven't turned out well. I mean, I even have a video where I show some collaging that I did that just did not turn out well, and how I fixed it. Because with paper and fabric, there's always a fix. Okay, so I like that. I think this is good because it's not as bulky as if I hadn't cut that fabric out. Okay, so that gives us our little mitered edges. Now I want to wait for this glue to dry before I sew it, but I'm going to try something else too. So I thought I can do this while this is drying. And again, this is an experiment that may not work out, and I may not like it, and that's okay, because that's what experiments are all about, is finding out whether or not you like something. So what I was thinking, because when I fold this, see how this paper kind of, you know, when you fold it, it's fine when it's flat, but then you fold it like this and it's got more space. I thought maybe I would sew along here, kind of like quilters do, just to kind of help hold down the paper. And we'll see. I mean, if I don't like it, you know, again, I can always use this for placemat or something. I want this to turn out really, really nice, because this is for a really, really special friend, and I don't want to talk too much about her on here, just in case she happens to watch this before I've finished this. She has no clue that I'm making this for her. Oh, I'm running into stuff. I've got so much stuff on my desk that the cover was running into stuff and it wasn't going to go right. I did also do something that I don't usually do, and that's that I changed my thread. I had white thread in, and I just didn't feel like that would look good on here. So I used gold thread, which really doesn't show up, which I have mixed feelings about. I kind of was wanting it to show up, but it does show up on the inside. Isn't that kind of cool? I like it. I really do. I really, really like it. It gives kind of a quilted feel. Okay, so let's do this one here too. I think it's really neat. And that way this is keeping me busy while that glue dries too, because I tend to be a little impatient and I really, really don't want to sew over wet glue and have it end up down in my machine or something. Okay, so that's those two. That looks pretty cool. I like that. Okay. All right, so let's do this one here. I might do this more often. I like the look, and you know that it's gonna hold the fabric to the paper better and everything, and then it just adds more texture to the whole thing. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do on the front of the cover yet. I may just leave it plain. Mine is plain, but I kind of think I want to do something more to it, and I haven't quite figured that out yet. So we might think about that a little bit if Bill doesn't get home very soon. Okay, so let's see if that kind of helped to solve our problem. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you can still see it coming apart a little bit, but not very much. You know, and it's certainly, I mean, when you open it, you're not going to be able to tell it's flat. That's that's very cool. I really, really like that. Okay, so yeah, I think that glue feels very dry. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do, I think on the inside I'm going to go ahead and sew it right along here, because I can't see where this edge is if I do it on the outside. And then I'm going to turn it over and sew right along the edge with a second row of zigzag. Okay, so I'm doing zigzag. I'm going to start down in the bottom corner of what would be the back of the book, because sometimes, you know, when you start out it doesn't look all that great. So I just like to do it in the place that's going to be the least noticeable. Okay. Wow, this is going a little faster than I'm comfortable with. Okay. I know this machine beeps an awful lot. Sorry. Oh, and I hope that the sound of the air conditioner isn't bothering you too much. I have a window air conditioner back here so that I can have a different temperature than Bill has. Bill doesn't mind the hot weather, and you know, being from New Jersey, he's used to humidity, where I'm from California and I am not used to any humidity at all. And so when it's like 500% humidity like it is here today, I mean, it's like 10-20 at night right now, and it's super, super humid outside. You walk outside and I swear if you take a breath you're gonna drown. It is so gross. Of course, that's what gives Southern girls their peaches and cream complexion, right? But it makes me feel really sick, actually. It just really, really bothers me. Okay, I think I might... No, I think that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Wow, this thread really blends into that, doesn't it? Okay, I'm kind of glad that I changed to it, though, because it goes nicely with it. Okay, so here's the back corner. So I'm going to go ahead and start at this back corner. Actually, let's go this way. And I'm going to zigzag right along the edge. I love the sewing machine. There's no pedal, which I thought would be really hard for me to get used to because I've sewn for many, many, many years. And it's not at all difficult, and it makes it so much easier to kind of like move it around and scoot it around and stuff when you're not having to worry about a pedal cord. And then also, it threads itself. I mean, I have to thread it through all this stuff and everything, but it threads the needle. It's so cool. Hi, honey, I'll be right out. There he is, he's home. Okay, so we're just about done here. And then next time we can figure out what we're going to put on the front. Okay? Just, this is where I started, so I'm just going over it just a little bit more. Okay, so that's it. We've got our basis of our cover done here. Okay, so it goes like this. All right, and I want to put something here. I'm really not sure what yet, so I've got to figure that out. I went a little crooked right there with the stitching, which is not the end of the world. It's okay, but that is probably where I want to put something. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I went through some of Bill's buttons and got some more in here so that I could just have more to choose from. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Can you guys see it? It's really cool looking. Oh, and this is pretty too. This, not for this because this is white and it just wouldn't look good. But there's also like all these wooden buttons. Aren't those neat? And then like these, my husband's a sweater maker, so he has tons and tons and tons and tons of buttons. And then these ones are made out of something. They might be bone. He has some that are made from deer antlers. That's not these ones, but this is made from something. I'm not sure what. Anyway, oh, I love these. Aren't those cool? Aren't those neat? I can't wait to use them. They're really neat. So anyway, I found a bunch of cool buttons when I was going through his buttons, and I stole a bunch and put them in here so that I could choose what I want to use. Ooh, I kind of like that green on there. Isn't that pretty? That's a possibility. Okay, anyway, next time, I love you all. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.